Today, we're going to be talking about the rise of Japanese-British singer Rina Sawayama. While Rina has been releasing music since 2013, she's recently started gaining a lot of momentum and has even been praised by music icon Elton John. So in this video, we're going to look at Rina's musical beginnings and just what has allowed her to bleed into the mainstream, as well as what makes her truly a one-of-a-kind artist. But before we begin, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell for more future content on all your favorite pop stars. Though born in Japan, Rina's family moved to England when she was just 5 years old. While she was studying to earn her degree in political science in university, Rina began to take up modeling as well as music. In university, Rina was part of a hip-hop group entitled Lazy Lion. Following this, Rina began working with a London-based producer, putting out tracks entitled Sleeping and Walking and Terror. Rina would begin to gain momentum after releasing her tracks Where You Are and Tunnel Vision, released in 2016 and 2017 respectively. Tunnel Vision would serve as one of the singles off her debut EP, Rina, released October 27th of 2017. However, though a single off the EP, the track was originally released back in 2015. Other singles included Cyber Stockholm Syndrome and Afterlife. The EP peaked at 40 on the Japan Download Albums chart. The EP was extremely well received. It was noted for effectively channeling a 90s-inspired sound and perfectly capturing nostalgia. Some even noted it was one of the best releases of 2017, and The Guardian went on to call Rina a shepherd of pop music. Interesting to note, Rina worked constantly, managing 2 to 3 jobs for years to save up so she could put out her EP as a self-release. Rina proves that with hard work, time, and patience, you can in fact achieve it. But this is just the beginning for her. After releasing a handful of singles throughout 2019, Rina went on to serve as the opening act for 4 dates on Charli XCX's Charli Live Tour. However, as with all tours right now, it's been postponed. After being an independent artist with her former releases, Rina became signed to the British independent record label Dirty Hit this year. Prior to the release of her debut record, Rina released 5 singles to support it. Though initially stated to be a shepherd of pop music, the singles she released, as well as her debut record, incorporated not just different subgenres of pop, but rock, nu metal, and R&B. And with her singles, instead of being just a catchy track, each of them spoke to a deeper issue. The first single, STFU, speaks to Rina's feelings about prejudice and racial comments she's faced as a Japanese woman. She even dedicated the track to those who have suffered through similar experiences. Comme des Garçons, and yes, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, also known as Like the Boys, is about those who take on typically masculine roles in order to feel empowered or confident, and it's a track rejecting those toxic ideals. XS mocks capitalism, and the way brands may be constantly putting out new items or cosmetics amidst a world plagued with so much more deeper issues. Rina noted a duality of how celebrities show off their giant homes while just previously the other day posting about a tragedy. If this tells you anything, it's that some of us are so far removed from real issues and problems, we can't even recognize the severity of them. And I'm here to tell you, stay active, stay aware, and do what you can to support the mass amount of political and social issues that may be going on, not only where you live, but also globally as well. Chosen Family is about finding solace in those around you, even if they aren't blood related. Rina stated it's a song for the LGBTQ+ community, presenting a message of safe space for them. The most recent single, Bad Friend, is about losing contact with a friend once close to you, and how at times, all of us can be bad friends, even when we're really close to those people. What Rina does with her lyricism and the stories presented in her tracks is give them an incredible purpose. These tracks not only tell a vivid story, but present broader themes that provoke honest discussion and make people think. Sawayama, Rina's debut studio record, released April 11th of this year, peaking at number 2 on the UK Independent Album Breakers chart, number 6 on the US Heat Seekers chart, number 8 on the UK Independent Albums chart, and 65 on the Japan Download Albums chart. The record landed on 4 Best Albums of 2020 lists, including Rolling Stone and Billboard. The record has also been met with high marks across the board and been lauded with acclaim. The record was noted for blending and mixing a variety of genres, the stories across the tracks, as well as Rina's vocals and songwriting capability. Rina has writing credits on all 14 tracks, counting the Japanese bonus track edition. What we know, these stories on this record are truly coming from Rina and her experiences. An additional praise, as discussed, came from Elton John, claiming it his favorite record of the year, noting Rina's combining music styles. He even said the track Bad Friend is a track even Madonna would want. So it's clear, Rina Sawayama is on her A game, releasing 2 efforts, both being met with critical praise. It's safe to say Rina is on the rise, and she isn't going anywhere soon. So let's discuss. Even if Rina isn't climbing up the charts, she is still captivating people. And as we'll get into, charts do not equate talent or ability. We know that Rina's efforts aren't rocketing up the charts, from her records to her singles, yet Rina is earning a lots of praise and attention. What does this show? We are in an era where charts and streams have been placed at the utmost importance. If you can't get a #1 debut, then your song isn't worthy. We're in a time where artists and songs and records have their value held in a chart position, not the content itself. Songs may be liked because of their position, and sometimes are validated because of it. You can't like whatever song you want because it might be a flop, or it isn't stable on the charts. Now, obviously, this is generally speaking, but take one peek onto Twitter or other news outlets, and the chart position is the focal point of many conversations. And it's frankly sad to see a lot of listeners value numbers over artistic intent, vision, and storytelling. Rina is a new artist who has just begun emerging into the mainstream eye. But without those chart numbers, Rina has still been able to captivate her audience. She proves that promotion, payola, streams, and charts do not define what a good artist is. Because if you're hell-bent on putting all your efforts into a chart position that nowadays doesn't really have much meaning at this point, you're gonna lose your authentic vision. Art shouldn't be about being on top or beating out the competition. It should be about sharing stories, connecting with your listeners, and presenting a wildly unique vision. And this is one thing I love about independent labels. They put trust in new or small artists and let them have creative freedom to express themselves. They aren't the big labels that stop caring about an artist after one bad record cycle, or push a half-assed song just to have a #1 to their name. What Rina has done is take risks. There are some wonderful, thought-provoking tracks and records out there. But let's be honest, one look at the Hot 100 and you aren't going to see many thought-provoking tracks on there. Of course, most tracks that climb atop the charts are fun, and just that. I won't draw any conclusions, so I'll ask you. Do we as listeners value fun bops over thought-provoking art? Is a typical familiar beat more engaging than experimentation? I encourage you to take a look at some charts and share what you think. But to close out this point and this video, Rina is the pinnacle of what makes an artist great. She isn't just sticking to pop or even subsets of pop. She ventures into other genres and channels a throwback sound that's modern but nostalgic. It's this kind of genre blending and experimentation that makes her discography unique and stand out. Rina uses her words to tell vivid stories and craft engaging narratives that reached out to a bigger point. You listen to her tracks and there's nothing out there you could deem as a filler. She's talented, and yeah, you could say she deserves more wide recognition on par with other artists in the industry. But this goes back to what I posed. Is Rina simply a new artist who will eventually soar up the main charts? Or is her work being overshadowed by music and artists who aren't showcasing the same ability and effort as Rina? Now, this isn't meant to put down any other artist who is doing well. I'm simply asking a question, enticing a debate between charts and the art. I'm very excited to see what comes next for Rina Sawayama. She's truly an exceptional artist, and I encourage you all to go listen to her recent record. After I researched her and listened to her discography, I'm sure Rina has so much more in store for us. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Be sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell for more future content on all your favorite pop stars.